right, we got another week with Fridays with Frank. I'm gonna bring you back when I was a teenager. So with that being said, let's show you around. So we're at this '81 Trans Am. This brings me back to my day when I was a teenager. We had tons of these cars. Me and my brother used to build these cars. Growing up, I mean, the first car I ever had was a '76 Trans Am, and I acquired it with my brother. We started with mini bikes. My brother's 3 years older than me, so he was in the need for money more than I was. But you know what? I was young. I wanted to learn, and I started building mini bikes with my brother. We'd flip them, and eventually we traded up to a '76 Trans Am, which in turn I built. And my brother started driving because he was 3 years older than me, so he would take you. That was his everyday car. In turn, my brother went on and opened up TNT Parts and Restoration, which all he did was build these cars. He'd buy them wrecked, fix them up, and sell them. So we've had our hands in thousands of these cars. So I know them inside and out. And this actually happens to be an excellent presentation of a 4.9 301 turbo Trans Am. Back in the day, they were okay with speed. It's still nice to see where cars have evolved from. So I'm going to show you what we're doing with this. Just a couple issues. Carburetor was running poorly. Turns out the computer system is no longer working, so we got to bypass that through the computer system, run the carburetor without the computer, which these are very basic computers. So it's easy to get past them and make things work. He had an issue with the AC because it runs through the computer, then kicks the AC on and bumps the idle up. So I had to bypass that. Unfortunately, by doing that, I don't get my RPM raised when the AC kicks on. So I got to kind of find a happy medium with the idle, or we'll have to change this out with one that just when you turn the key forward and turn the AC on, it bumps it up just a little bit, and they make them so you can adjust the idle. So it brings it up enough that the car doesn't stall out when you turn the AC on. Or like with this car, it actually doesn't stall, but I start having voltage issues because the alternator is not turning fast enough. So now we're going to go into the interior. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the interior. We're back in the Trans Am, working on the gauges here. So first thing I do, I always recommend to people when I'm going into the dash, let's change all the bulbs out because half the time only half of them ever work, and it's nice I'm there already. It's only a couple dollars more just to switch out the bulbs. So we're switching the bulbs out, and I had to pull the gauges out because all the duct work is falling apart. It's kind of in disarray, so he's not getting a good blow out the vent. So I basically took this apart so I could access it and straighten out the ductwork. He had a weird buzzing noise, which was the relay for the choke, which we took care of that. And once we get it all back together, you never know we were working on this. We're at the GS motor. We finally got this thing all together. We've had a lot of work, so we haven't been able to push on this as fast and as hard as we would like to. But we got it together. I got a pink color match to the car, and we're going to finish assembling it and get it back in the car. So with that being said, we're going to end this episode of Fridays with Frank and look out for the GS to get rolling. See you next episode.
Honest answers, quality work, and legendary service.